saying they weren't given enough time to read the 11,000-page charge sheet at the beginning of the case. Uganda's Electoral Commission has now officially declared Yoweri Museveni the winner of the country's presidential elections with 68% of the vote. It said over 5 million people voted for Museveni, who's already been serving for 25 years now. His closest challenger, Kizza Besigye, received just 26% of the vote and says the polls were rigged. Now, in the run-up to the elections, there were allegations that state funds were used to bribe voters.
There was multiple voting and ballot stuffing resulting from use of bloated voters' register. And in the 80 districts we sampled, more than half reported this malpractice. Voters were turned away without voting, as I indicated, because of the problems of the voters' register.
New proposals to try to end the political stalemate in Côte d'Ivoire are due to be put to the rival camps in the coming hours. 5 African leaders have been meeting in Mauritania to try to find a solution. Incumbent President Laurent Gbagbo has been clinging to power after disputed elections last year. Alassane Ouattara is internationally recognized winner of the poll, but has rejected talks with Gbagbo. Côte d'Ivoire's economy is near collapse, with bank closures and dwindling cocoa exports driving the country towards ruin. Now, in other world news, 10 disabled children have died in a fire at an orphanage in Estonia. The blaze broke out in a wooden building in Haapsalu when 37 children and 2 adults were inside. Many were wheelchair-bound and unable to escape the flames. Estonia will mark the tragedy with a day of mourning on Monday. Iceland's president has called for a new referendum over the $5 billion the country owes to Britain and the Netherlands. New repayment terms have been hammered out following the country's financial collapse and the failure of the Icesave Bank 2 years ago. President Ólafur Grímsson has called for the new vote after an initial referendum rejected the original terms. Germany's ruling party has suffered a crushing defeat in a key regional election. The result means the opposition Social Democrats now have control of the country's upper house of parliament. And the poll may also spell more trouble for the Chancellor Angela Merkel's party going into 6 more local elections this year. Nick Spicer reports from Hamburg.
They voted even though the outcome was almost a foregone conclusion. The only surprise, the size of the upset. The Social Democrats were sipping champagne even before the official results were in. Then came the long, hard walk for this man, the Christian Democratic candidate, come to meet his disappointed followers.
He's conceding defeat. Angela Merkel's man in Hamburg, Christoph Allhaus, the mayor, defeated by the Social Democratic candidate. The issues were largely local, such as dredging the port, but the consequences could be national.
Olaf Scholz was the man of the moment, touring the TV sets and telling us what the Hamburg victory meant for his party nationwide.
I think this is a good sign for the whole country, because we can see here that the Social Democratic Party is a big party, and a party which is pragmatic and is able to combine economic competence and social cohesion.
This is the kickoff to at least 7 regional elections this year, a bad start for the party of the German Chancellor. Nick Spicer, AlJazeera, Hamburg.
More than 50 people have been killed over the past 3 days in the Mexican town of Ciudad Juárez. That's according to officials there, who say 14 people were killed on Thursday, 20 on Friday, and a further 19 on Saturday. Ciudad Juárez is just across the border from Texas, a frontier that's become a battleground for drug cartels and security forces. Mexico's president plans to send reinforcements to the area. And violence continues elsewhere in Mexico. A series of attacks on taxis in the western resort city of Acapulco has left 12 people dead. Police say drivers and passengers were among the victims. Taxi drivers have previously been targeted for extortion or recruited by the gangs to transport drugs. Hundreds of people have packed the Capitol building in the U.S. state of Wisconsin in an ongoing budget standoff. Wisconsin's governor wants union members to contribute more to ease the state's money troubles. But protesters are upset that he wants to eliminate collective bargaining rights. John Terrett reports from Wisconsin's state capital, Madison.
Late Sunday evening, and several hundred people are protesting Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker's plans to cut state workers' benefits, particularly health care and pensions, and to end collective bargaining. Union busting, they call it.
He's trying to take away the one thing that the people have to come together and fight against the corporations and the government if they are going against what we want. I mean, we have nothing else but our unions often.
Look at who is here. This is a cross-section of the entire nation. This is my city, this is my home city, this is my home state, and these are every different color of people, every different religion.
The battle lines have been drawn in Wisconsin, a pioneer in recognizing public employees' rights to bargain through their unions. But now Governor Scott Walker and his fellow Republicans in control of the legislature intend to revoke that right, along with cutting some benefits. Giving up collective bargaining, say the workers, is a concession they will not make. The unions see another threat to their survival. Walker's plan to force workers to vote every year on the union's power to collect dues.
And they can continue to voluntarily have those union dues that write the check out, give it to that union to make their case, but they shouldn't be forced to be a part of this if that's not what they want to do.
The Wisconsin showdown is the fiercest battle in a nationwide power struggle, as other recently elected Republican governors also confront their public sector workers. In Ohio, where the governor has even antagonized police and firefighter unions, which had backed his election, he wants to take away their collective bargaining rights too. And in New Jersey, Republican Chris Christie and public school teachers are at each other's throats over pensions and health care benefit. But the unions face a challenge in the court of public opinion too. Amid America's economic reverses, the unions' favorability ratings are at an historic low, with one recent poll showing them less popular than corporations. Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker will be back on nationwide TV on Monday to explain why he's trying to cut the salaries and benefits of state workers and end their collective bargaining rights. There will be a show of support for him outside the state capitol. But these people occupying the Capitol building late on Sunday evening will be back with reinforcements on Monday, determined that the governor knows they don't want him to succeed. John Terrett, AlJazeera, Madison, Wisconsin.
About 1,000 members of Peru's security forces have started an operation against illegal gold mining in the country's Amazon region. So far, they've confiscated 13 river dredges and have destroyed another 7. The operation is due to last a month. Peru's government says illegal gold mining in the Amazon is responsible for the destruction of the environment. In China, a severe drought has forced the government to look for alternative ways to find water. They've been digging deep underground in search of the much-needed resource. But as Melissa Chan finds out, they may create an even bigger problem.
Rows and rows of young wheat crop, tufts amidst the dry brown land. They say it's the worst drought Shandong province has seen in 200 years. China's in a crisis, but this is one for the world to watch as well.
Food security in China affects food security